going back and forth to each of the platforms to try to read your comments. So if you have a question or a comment, please don't hesitate to drop that in the comments below. I want to make sure you can hear me. So if you can hear me, Victoria gave me a head nod that you can hear me, or she can hear me. So if you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up or a heart so that we know that you can hear us. So today I am working with this really neat container that we got from a sweet lady who hand makes them, and she brings them around to different flower shops. So this is the 3 wooden crosses I think it's perfect for Easter. And so we thought that we would make an arrangement with our Sheen flowers in this container. Now, it's really me playing more than anything. I'm not going to make a permanent arrangement, meaning I'm not going to glue it in and all those kinds of things. I'm actually just going to design something pretty in this container. Now, we have actually already sold one of these containers. Miss Victoria, who purchased?
Miss Lanice Carter.
Miss Lanice Carter ordered one of these from us. So we have sold one of them. We bought 2 and we have sold one. But I am sure if anybody's interested, we have more. So what I did was, this is actually just a wooden box that is attached to the crosses. I could probably... what I did was I just added some foam down into the center. I was going to say I could pick up the other one, but that's just a lot. But it's just a wooden box. What we would normally do is we would either use it and make a pretty fresh arrangement in it using a liner, or drop a pretty plant in there. But today we are going to use our Sheen flowers that we purchased and we got in last week. So I thought we would use some of our pretty blooms and play with some of our flowers. So I'm starting out where I have just wedged 2 pieces of foam right down into this container so that it wouldn't go anywhere. And then this is just some Spanish moss, and I have just taken the Spanish moss and I'm just laying it right over the foam to kind of camouflage that foam. Now, Spanish moss is a little messy, so when using your Spanish moss, you are going to, just know you got a lot to clean up. Next, what I'm going to do is I thought I would add some greenery. So I was going to show you what I had. So I have some willow eucalyptus that we ordered on Sheen we got it in last week, but it's just a willow eucalyptus. And so I thought what we could do is kind of tuck that in, and quite honestly we may be able to just use the whole piece. So I'm just taking that whole stem and I just tucked it right into the container. Now, I don't usually do that. Usually I am one that I am going to take it and cut it apart, but I thought let's try it and see. Again, this is something I am just really playing with. It's not going to be a permanent arrangement because I didn't want to make something that was permanent and then someone won't want the container all by itself or a plant put in it. So I just thought we would play. So this is that willow eucalyptus, and then this is the silver dollar eucalyptus that we got. So what I am going to cut this apart. I'm using just some wire snips that I picked up from, I think these came from our local building supply store. So I'm just taking these and I'm cutting apart my eucalyptus. Y'all forgive me. This head cold will go away one day. So I'm going to just take this silver dollar eucalyptus and I am just kind of tucking it into this foam. Again, if I was going to make this permanent for for someone's home, I would certainly be gluing in all of the pieces, but because I'm not going to make it permanent, I'm just sticking them right in. I also got this pretty seeded eucalyptus. Now the only thing about the seeded eucalyptus is I'm going to have to walk in there and get my pick machine, because it has a very bendy stem. It doesn't have any stability in that stem, and it's not going to stick right over into that foam. So give me 2 seconds. Let me walk in here and get this pick machine.
Miss Lanice, let me see if I'm gonna try to come between all these wires, and I kind of look like a mess, so I'm sorry. But what I was measuring for the 24 inches was from here to here. I didn't measure the box, so that may be where it's a little misleading. And then from the 36 inches was from here to here. But yes, it's the same kind of, I don't know if you can see me, it's the same kind of container. But it's the same one, but this is your 36-inch wide, and then from here to here was 24 inches. But I just wanted to clear that up, but it is the same container.
Okay, so I grabbed my handy dandy pick machine. So a pick machine, and I've showed it to you before, but I'll show it to you again. It's very heavy, and it has steel picks in here. So when you use it, you're going to set it on the table, obviously. But I am going to load a pick. You're going to set your piece of greenery right down in between, and then you'll clamp that pick. And then you can pull it right out. Now you have to be very careful with these picks because they bite. They will cut you. So you never want to run your hands down. It's almost like a little blade. It's pretty sharp. So you need to be careful when working with it. But what it does is, because these stems are very bendy, they don't have a whole lot of, they're not rigid enough to stick right down into that, it's not soft foam, it's a harder foam. So I'm going to add these steel picks to the bottom of that greenery, and so that will pick right down into that foam.
Miss Verna asks, did you get all the greenery from Sheen? What was the name of the first greenery you used?
So this was a willow uke. I will go on my Sheen app and I'll snap pictures and I'll post them right up underneath your comment. So if you have any questions about the different ones, I'll snap pictures for you in my app and share it with you. I want to say, I'm not positive, it may not have been called willow uke, but I can show exactly what I ordered.
They're saying they love both the cameras.
Yay! Victoria was so excited. She told Owen she had to use both cameras. So you can see how I've put just a little pick, and y'all, they just go right in. No issues whatsoever with that poking right into that foam. All right. So there's our greenery. I do have more, so just in case I need it, I do have more greenery. But there is our greenery. Next, I thought we would use some of the larkspur that we got in. Now, so this came, the willow uke came as a bush, you saw it, and then the silver dollar came as a stem. You got it per stem. And then the seeded eucalyptus, I think there were 5 stems in a little Ziploc bag that you got with the seeded eucalyptus. Now, this is the lark, and y'all, I'm very pleased. I think I looked at the price for the larkspur on Sheen. It was like $2.20. It wasn't expensive at all, and it's a very good looking stem. I mean, I'm very pleased. So I want this, it's very important that our crosses are very much prominent in this arrangement. And so, I'm going to move that pick machine so you can see. So I'm not going to, I don't want to really make just a traditional church arrangement. I'm thinking more just kind of, I don't even know. I'm just thinking. So my mind goes to something a little more, I want those crosses to be very prominent.
John Miller asks, is this for a customer or for a store?
It's just for fun, really, Dawn. I just wanted to kind of play with some of these flowers from Sheen. And so it's really just for fun more than it is anything. I'm not making it permanent because this container, they may want to just buy the container and not buy the silk flowers. So I just really wanted to play with the Sheen flowers and let's see what we think about those. And I wanted to kind of take a picture of a pretty arrangement. And if nothing else, I may even use this at my church on Easter Sunday, just because it's beautiful, and then bring it back to the store. So I'm just going to play with it.
Miss Berta asks, was the crosses in the container expensive?
It is $100 for that whole container.
And Sweetbriar asks, where did you purchase those?
The crosses? Sweetbriar, we have a lady who hand makes them, and she kind of peddles her products to the different flower shops. So she sells them to a lot of the flower shops here in Mississippi. I'm not exactly sure where all she goes with them, but I know she sells them. She sells them here and there. She's North Mississippi, up near Memphis, Tennessee. So I don't know what all flower shops she sells them to. But I don't know if you remember the birdhouses that I showed you. I sold one lady some birdhouses, and she handmade those birdhouses, and she did these crosses also. All right, so that is 5 stems of that larkspur, and you can see how I wanted it to be. I wanted this was all important, so I didn't want these flowers to really take away. I wanted them to just accent those crosses.
Valerie says, I need to hang out in your area. You have vendors coming by all the time.
We really do. We have lots of vendors that come by. And really, it's wonderful. I didn't know how lucky we were until I talked to other florists like you guys who say y'all don't have trucks necessarily that come by. But we have lots of trucks that just come by. And this sweet little lady, she's so funny. She brings her pickup truck up here, and she'll pull all of her things off and kind of set them on our porch. And we look at them and pick out what we want. She'll load her stuff back in her vehicle, write us a ticket, and bring it all in the store. So she's really, really good. And she'll call you and say, I'm coming to your area. So I was wondering if you needed anything. But she makes beautiful things. We've always been very pleased with the things. And this is brand new. She's never made these before. Okay, so this is one of the small little bushes that we picked up from Sheen. It has a couple of little roses, a couple of hydrangeas. I love this little mom. But I really thought, honestly, we could probably just nestle that entire bush right down in to that arrangement without even having to cut him off. Now I'm going to use several of them because it's small. So I'm going to use another one, and I'm just kind of fluffing it up.
Our Catherine says, hey, Ruby and Victoria, miss y'all.
Our Catherine, hello, sweet Catherine. I hope you're doing okay. I know that y'all had lots of people coming your way with all that weather. I hope y'all were okay. Okay, so I just tucked a couple of little bushes right down into that arrangement. Just kind of nestled them down into the arrangement, which you know is really not usually something I do. But with these being so tiny, I think they're fine. Now this is another little piece of foliage or greenery, and it's actually more of a filler flower. And I did want to talk to you about, I did go to the Dollar Tree and got some flowers to show you the difference between the Sheen flowers and the Dollar Tree flowers. So I'll do that in just a minute when we're at the end of the video. But with this filler flower, I'm just going to use it as a whole little bush. I'm just taking it and I'm kind of fluffing it up, breathing life into it. People laughed at me saying breathe life into that greenery and that foliage. When I was in college at Mississippi State, that's what Dr. Del Prince used to say, now breathe some life into that thing. Don't leave it squashed. But I got lots of laughy faces, Kristen Weaver, laughing at me, breathing life into my foliage. These are eucalyptus, little eucalyptus bushes. And y'all, these were very inexpensive, but I really think this is pretty. This isn't too bad, is it?
And Catherine says we fortunately didn't get any of the nasty weather.
Oh, I'm so glad, Catherine. Did you see Becca's wedding pictures? You got to go look at Becca's wedding pictures. She got married this past weekend down on the coast, and they're beautiful. You got to go look. Okay, here's another little eucalyptus. This guy kind of looks like he's dragging on the floor, so we're going to pull him up just a little. Pull him out.
Joan Arthur says, I have a grandchild on the way right now. This is helping me relax.
Oh, congratulations, Miss Joan. Congratulations. I know you can't wait to get your hands on that sweet baby. Okay, so these are just those little foliage bushes. I just tucked them in, y'all. We just kind of tuck those little guys in. Okay, so the one thing I think this arrangement needs is everything's little. Everything's very small and dainty. And I'm afraid if we keep putting tiny things in, it just kind of looks like it's just tiny. So I have a few larger peonies over here that I thought, now they didn't come from Sheen because everything from Sheen is little. Let's see where I put them. I saw them a minute ago.
Sisters Fabrics and Handmade says, based on your unboxing, I ordered a few florals from Sheen.
Did you? I hope you like them. Okay, so these are peonies. They're large. They're showy. This actually came from Tremont Floral, and you can order from Tremont Floral online. If you're interested, I can put a link to their website. Tremont Floral is actually in Mississippi. It's north of Mississippi. Now they have some fancy things, and they have larger, showier flowers. Now this is one of their higher end bushes of flowers, but ooh wee, these are so pretty. And they look so, they really look like the real ones that we got this week. But I thought we would take a couple of these larger stems and tuck those in to really give us a focal flower, because nothing's really focal here. Everything's more of a filler type flower. So let's put a little bit of focal in. I'm gonna throw them on the floor.
Allison says, ooh baby, I love those peonies.
Aren't they something? Aren't those amazing? They're so big and showy. I don't know if we need, I'm going to put a pick on the bottom. But see how this makes such a difference when you tuck in, if I can get it in that foam, when you tuck in a large focal flower, it really makes all the difference in the world. I'm struggling getting it in that foam. But see how everything else really looks like a little filler flower? But look at how that really makes such a statement.
Pretty and actually draw your eyes to the cross.
I think they are so lovely. And y'all, really, these are very, I'm very, very pleased with the quality. Now, they're not big, mind you, but they are really, they're really nice. I'm really pleased. All right, and so see how simple that was, really? I really didn't do a whole lot of work. Everything was already done for me. I just kind of tucked it in. So I used 5 individual stems, and that was this larkspur. And then I used 2 bushes, which were just little mixed bushes, kind of similar to this. This is the peony bush. But they were little mixed bushes that I just kind of spread out and tucked those right in. So you see, though, it really doesn't look as we just jabbed bushes in a container. It really looks as if we have done the designing. But I really did. I just stuck those little guys right down in there, and it really did turn out very pretty. I used about 7 stems of that seeded eucalyptus. I used 2 of the bushes that were this little filler flower, just tucked those little guys right in. I used a couple of stems of the larger eucalyptus, and then 3 blooms off of a bush of the peonies. And look how pretty it is. It's just really, really a statement piece. But the crosses really make it, obviously. The crosses are really, really what are so pretty. But this little bush of peonies had 5 of those large peonies on it, and they're just amazing in that arrangement. So very, very easy. It's not hard to put it together. But when you're using smaller blooms, I would suggest finding something that has a nicer sized bloom, because it really gives you something to kind of look at, to kind of draw your eye. All right. Any more questions, Miss Victoria?
Rick says, wow, that made a huge difference about the turn out the peonies.
Yes, aren't they pretty?
Sisters Fabrics and Handmade says, the peonies really do make a difference. Love this one.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to grab these flowers that I picked up from the dollar store, from the Dollar Tree, so that you could see the difference in the Dollar Tree flowers versus the Sheen flowers. Okay, so this was Dollar Tree. I don't know, do I need to back up? Am I too close?
No, I just need to fix this.
Did we dark out?
Yeah, but it's on the other camera. Right
You want
now.
me to bend down? Y'all give us just a second.
Alright, we're coming back.
Are we back? Are we back?
Should be back.
All right. Are we back? Okay. So this is a stem from the Dollar Tree. So someone asked the other day, when I got in all of those Sheen flowers, someone asked, is there really much of a difference between the Sheen flowers versus the Dollar Tree flowers? So Sheen flowers are less expensive. You're going to find that they really are less expensive depending on what you're looking for, but the quality is way better. So this is Dollar Tree. I'm not exactly sure. I guess these would be considered, peonies. They're peonies. Okay, so you see the petal count is very low, not a whole lot of petal count, okay? Now this is the Sheen peonies versus the Dollar Tree. I'm going to set those down. Dollar Tree and Sheen. So it's way different. I'll have to, is that my phone right there?
Mm-hmm.
Let me look and see how much we paid for the Sheen flowers real quick.
And you can put up to this one and they can see them more close up.
Okay, so those are the Dollar Tree.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. You got me flipped?
Maybe. Well, it may be a little out of focus, actually.
Let's see. Is that too much out of focus? It's okay. Let's see the difference. Let me pull up really quickly what I paid for these peonies because I think it's crazy the difference.
Here, you can try again. I think I switched. Let's see. Oh, well, just kidding. Sorry.
You was
guys.
kidding.
I was
No
just
problems.
kidding.
You were just kidding. That's all right. I'm sorry. It's taking me just a second. So that eucalyptus, with the seeded eucalyptus, it says 2 pieces per set, and they were 75 cents a piece. Sorry, it's taking me a second, but I just kind of wanted you to carnations, and everything is tiny. I will say everything is small. Like this, I paid 91 cents for this little bush, and at the Dollar Tree it would be $1.25, and I mean I think it's just as good. I'm gonna hit those peonies in a second.
Allison says, oh wow, thanks so much for picking up some Dollar Tree stems for us to see side by side. Huge difference.
Yes, it really is. I'll have to look and see. I'm not running across those peonies on this. But they weren't very expensive. I mean, they were probably $1.40 maybe, and then maybe even cheaper than that. But very inexpensive. Oh no, those are roses. Hydrangeas.
Verna says, love this. Very beautiful. Would love to get those crosses, but would cost a lot for shipping.
Probably so. Probably so. Okay, this was Dollar Tree, and it's got 5 little stems. That was Dollar Tree. This is Sheen, and it has the same 5 stems. So quality-wise, that's about the same. This was 91 cents. The little white one was 91 cents. This one was 91 cents. This one was $1.25. So that's about the same. I feel like you could get, you could use both. Okay, and then for the greenery, okay, so this one was a little haggard, mind you. It was a little worse for wear, but I wanted some type of greenery. So this is a fern that I picked up at the Dollar Tree versus eucalyptus that I got. And I didn't order fern, so I really didn't have the exact greenery to show you. But you can tell, I mean, they've just been in a box. They've just ridden in a box, and they've been tied in a box. That's the eucalyptus from Sheen versus the fern from the Dollar Tree. So I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of the difference in the quality. I think this, absolutely about the same. I feel like you would be just as pleased with either one. I did pay less for the Sheen flowers. And then, of course, these peonies are just way, way different. Way, way different. Any more questions, Miss Victoria?
Miss Denise says, thanks so much for designing in this.
Oh, of course. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's so pretty. I'm so pleased with this container. It's a beautiful container. And thank you for reaching out about this container, because I don't know if I would have even thought to get it, but it's beautiful. It really is very pretty.
Miss Patsy asks, could you do an arrangement with palm branches, an idea for Palm Sunday service?
I can. Now, I have an arrangement that we're going to do for the Presbyterian Church, and we're going to use purple, shades of purple, and we'll use palm branches. I can remember years and years ago, I think it was even before I had the flower shop, we went to church at a tiny little Presbyterian church, and we did Palm Sunday. And so as the children would walk up with their palm branches, they would hand me the palms, and I just arranged the the palms right there during church, which I thought was really fun and neat, where it was just an arrangement of all palm, and I thought it was beautiful. But yes, ma'am, I'll be happy to make that arrangement for you. And I'll start out with the base of palm, so if you only wanted to do palms for Palm Sunday, you certainly could, and then I'll add the purple blooms to it.
Claudia Riddick asks, where did you purchase the crosses?
I have a lady, and she just sells, she just pedals them off her truck. So she brings a truck. She really doesn't have a website or anything like that that I know of. I think that she just makes them and sells them. And so she makes several different things. She made these 3 crosses. She makes a single standing cross with the same base on the bottom. She makes churches. I think you've seen my church before. She makes birdhouses and different things, but really she just comes to the different flower shops and she sells to the flower shops. But she does a beautiful job. I'm very pleased with her products.
John Miller asks, have you ever taken an old rose and wired the top and removed the green part of the rose and make small peonies out of it for corsages?
I have not, Dawn Miller.
She says, my one teacher would do that.
I need to look that up. No, I have never done that. I will have to look that up. I am just messing up this flower.
But I think that's it.
All right, guys. I just so pulled this stem right off this flower, and I'm just messing with it. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. Thank you for always being with us. We love you. And if you have any questions about how we do anything here at the flower shop, you know you can always drop that in the comments below, or you can send us a message, and we're so happy to answer that for you. And we will be back tomorrow. I don't know exactly what we will do. I have had lots of people asking about prom corsages and boutonnieres and nosegays. We will be making those. It's going to be a little later in the week. You don't want to make those too early. And I will make the one that I photographed yesterday. I was just kind of playing with that for Micah Thomas, but I will certainly make that one for you on either a YouTube video or on a live so that you can see. It's really so easy, but I'll certainly show you how I do that. But if you have any questions or anything that you want to see us do, please don't hesitate to send us a message, because we love great ideas. And we will see you tomorrow. So y'all have a great evening.